Gandhiji's full name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He was born on October 2nd, 1869 in a town called Porbandar in Gujarat. He was the architect of India's freedom and one of the greatest men of this century. Mahatma Gandhi's life was dedicated to the ideals of truth, non-violence and love. Mahatma Gandhi was not born great. He was an ordinary child like many of us. In the beginning, he acted like a common child. He told lies only once in his life. He took meat with his friend only once. All these things were done due to the influence of bad company in his childhood. One day, he confessed all these bad deeds before his father and vowed not to repeat them. Gandhi was much influenced by the character of King Harishchandra in the play entitled Raja Harishchandra. Gandhi studied law and came to advocate for the rights of Indians both at home and in South Africa. Gandhi became a leader of India's independence movement, organizing boycotts against British institutions in peaceful forms of civil disobedience. Young Gandhi had his primary education up to the 7th year at Porbandar. Then his education continued at Rajkot. When Mahatma Gandhi was only 19 years old, he went to England to become a barrister. He obtained the degree of Barrister of Law and started practicing law in South Africa. Once he had to make a train journey, so he bought a first class ticket. During the journey, an officer of the railway asked him to vacate his seat for a white man and to move to the van on the train. Mahatma Gandhi refused. The railway officials, with the help of the police, had his things thrown out. He was also removed from the carriage by force. Thus, Gandhiji was subject to untold shame. This incident transformed him. Gandhi started an organization called the Natal Indian Congress. It was to carry on the struggle of the Indians against racial discrimination. He also started a newspaper called The Indian Opinion. The paper became an organ to give information about the struggle. On another occasion, he wore a turban and attended the court. But the judge, who was a white man, ordered him to remove the turban because he was a coolie lawyer. Gandhiji fought against this unjust and cruel treatment. He observed Satyagraha there and became successful. As a pioneer of Satyagraha, or resistance through mass non-violent civil disobedience, he became one of the major political and spiritual leaders of his time. Satyagraha remains one of the most potent philosophies in freedom struggles throughout the world today. Gandhi spent the next 20 years working to better Indians' rights in South Africa. During the first 3 years, Gandhi learned more about Indian grievances, studied the law, wrote letters to officials, and organized petitions. On May 22, 1894, Gandhi established the Natal Indian Congress. Although the NIC began as an organization for wealthy Indians, Gandhi worked diligently to expand its membership to all classes and castes. Gandhi became well known for his activism, and his acts were even covered by newspapers in England and India. In a few short years, Gandhi had become a leader of the Indian community in South Africa. In 1896, after living 3 years in South Africa, Gandhi sailed to India with the intention of bringing his wife and 2 sons back with him. While in India, there was a bubonic plague outbreak. Since it was then believed that poor sanitation was the cause of the spread of the plague, Gandhi offered to help inspect latrines and offer suggestions for better sanitation. Although others were willing to inspect the latrines of the wealthy, Gandhi personally inspected the latrines of the untouchables as well as the rich. He found that it was the wealthy that had the worst sanitation problems. When the Boer War in South Africa began in 1899, Gandhi organized the Indian Ambulance Corps, in which 1,100 Indians heroically helped injured British soldiers. The goodwill created by this support of South African Indians to the British lasted just long enough for Gandhi to return to India for a year, beginning at the end of 1901. After traveling through India and successfully drawing public attention to some of the inequalities suffered by the lower classes of Indians, Gandhi returned to South Africa to continue his work there. The first time Gandhi officially used Satyagraha was in South Africa beginning in 1907, when he organized opposition to the Asiatic Registration Law, which was known as the Black Act. In March 1907, the Black Act was passed, requiring all Indians, young and old, men and women, to get fingerprinted and to keep registration documents on them at all times. While using Satyagraha, Indians refused to get fingerprinted and picketed the documentation offices. Mass protests were organized, miners went on strike, and masses of Indians illegally travelled from Natal to the Transvaal in opposition to the Black Act. Many of the protesters were beaten and arrested, including Gandhi. This was the first of Gandhi's many jail sentences. It took 7 years of protest, but in 1914 June, the Black Act was repealed. Gandhi had proved that non-violent protest could be immensely successful. In 1914, Gandhi returned to India, where he supported the Home Rule movement and became the leader of the Indian National Congress. He advocated a policy of non-violent and non-cooperation to achieve independence. His goal was to help poor farmers and laborers protest oppressive taxation and discrimination. He struggled to alleviate poverty, liberate women, and put an end to caste discrimination, with the ultimate objective being self-rule for India. It was during his first year back in India that Gandhi was given the honorary title of Mahatma. Many credit Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore, winner of the 1913 Nobel Prize for Literature, for both awarding Gandhi of his name and of publicizing it. The title represented the feelings of the millions of Indian peasants who viewed Gandhi as a holy man. However, Gandhi never liked the title because it seemed to mean he was special while he viewed himself as ordinary. After Gandhi's year of travel and observance was over, he was still stifled in his actions because of the World War. As part of Satyagraha, Gandhi had vowed to never take advantage of an opponent's troubles. With the British still fighting a huge war, Gandhi could not fight for Indian independence from British rule. This did not mean that Gandhi sat idle. Instead of fighting the British, Gandhi used his influence and satyagraha to change inequities between Indians. For example, Gandhi persuaded landlords to stop forcing their tenants farmers to pay increased rent and mill owners to peacefully settle a strike. Gandhi used his fame and determination to appeal to the landlords' morals and used fasting as a means to convince the mill owners to settle. Gandhi's reputation and prestige had reached such a high level that people did not want to be responsible for his death. Fasting made Gandhi physically weak. In December 1928, Gandhi and the Indian National Congress announced a new challenge to the British government. If India was not granted the status of a Commonwealth by December 31, 1929, then they would organize a nationwide protest against British taxes. The deadline came and passed with no change in British policy. There were many British taxes to choose from, but Gandhi wanted to choose one that symbolized British exploitation of India's poor. The answer was the salt tax. Salt was a spice that was used in everyday cooking, even for the poorest in India. Yet, the British had made it illegal to own salt, not sold or produced by the British government, in order to make a profit on all salt sold in India. When Gandhi announced that he planned a march on the government-owned Darshana salt works, the British arrested Gandhi and imprisoned him without trial. Although the British had hoped that Gandhi's arrest would stop the march, they had underestimated his followers. The poet Mrs. Sarojini Naidu took over and led the 2,500 marchers. As the group reached, 400 policemen and 6 British officers started attacking the marchers. The marchers were beaten with clubs, often being hit on their heads and shoulders. The international press watched as the marchers did not even raise their hands to defend themselves. After the first 25 marchers were beaten to the ground, another column of 25 would march and be beaten, until all 2,500 had marched forward and been brutally attacked. The news of the brutal beating by the British of peaceful protesters shocked the world. Gandhi's vision of a free India was based on religious pluralism. Eventually, on August 15, 1947, British granted India independence. Gandhi is commonly considered as the father of our nation. His birthday, 2nd October, is commemorated as Gandhi Jayanti, a national holiday, and worldwide as the International Day of Non-Violence. Gandhi's style of living was very simple. He removed the caste barrier. He called the untouchables the Aryan, children of God. He was a reformer. He told the Indians to do manual labor. He advised the students of his time to read vocational subjects in order to be self-dependent. He also advised to introduce hand spinning as a subject in education institutions. He was a strong supporter of agriculture. Gandhiji was a spiritual man. He spiritualized politics. It was painful to find that many politicians had become greedy for power soon after independence. He earnestly appealed them to work for the development of the country. He also told the people to love and tolerate each other. He read the Gita, the Quran, the Holy Bible, and all other scriptures. Mahatma Gandhi left us a legacy which can never be removed by any mortal force. They are truth and non-violence. Great men like Albert Einstein, Martin Luther King have hailed Gandhi for his great and noble deeds. Einstein remarked, 1,000 years after, the world would scarcely believe that such a man in flesh and blood had ever walked on earth. We must be proud that we come from the nation where this great man was born, lived and breathed his last. The fitting tribute to Mahatma Gandhi is we the students must live a life which holds love, truth, respect for others and tolerance as our highest virtues. Let us salute the father of our nation on his birthday. Jai Hind.